The system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history. In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing. The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing you're all going to understand from this video is the step-by-step process that the elites are going to take you through to get you into this new digital financial system that I believe will be run on the back of XRP. But first, what you all need to understand is that the way you become a crypto millionaire is by never leaving this market. Right now, we have been through the worst year in crypto I've personally experienced, and I've been here since 2016. 2022 was nothing but a straight line down into the pits of hell. And what all of you need to know is, when times get rough, that is when your true crypto spirit shows. Now is the time where the best entry points for generational wealth have presented themselves, and now is the time where if you've done your due diligence and you continue to research, you'll be better prepared for profit-taking execution and better prepared to understand newer projects more than the 99% of retail investors that'll be pouring in after the hundreds of percent gains. Now, with that being said, this is an article referring to Brad Garlinghouse's optimism about 2023 being the year crypto regulatory clarity finally hits the United States. The one thing hindering the crypto market more than anything else is the United States dragging their feet on crypto regulations. They've created an environment which has allowed scammers like Sam Bankman-Fried to thrive and has sued good actors like Ripple, good actors like Library, because they came in and wanted to talk with the SEC to try and be compliant. This is what this confusion creates. And what I can tell all of you is that trillions are waiting on the sidelines for the moment when these regulators hit this regulatory switch. Bills need to be passed, and they will be. Bills on exchanges, bills on stablecoins, and finally, the end of this case for XRP. James Filan, I believe, made a prediction that Judge Torres may rule on summary judgment and expert motions concurrently on or before March 31st, 2023. You guys all know I've always been a proponent of a settlement coming at any given moment, and I believe we need to be prepared for anything. You guys need to know that 2023 could very well be the year where XRP explodes in value. We finally get what we deserve, while simultaneously seeing the rest of crypto get annihilated by regulations, and also seeing the stock market getting annihilated at the exact same time. Here, I'm going to play you a brief clip from Good Morning Crypto discussing a theory that I've personally believed in for a long time. Everything needs to crash for this new system to come into effect. They've already crashed crypto by 90%. Next could be the stock market, and the transfer of value and transfer of capital from the old system to the new will finally take place.
We had Waters Above on the show yesterday, and he thinks we're going to get a final leg down to about 13,000 between February and April of 2023, and that could finally be our bottom. But you're the chart master, so what are you seeing?
This is something we've been talking about. So The crypto market, we'll say is crashed. We'll say the stock market is crashed. I've been saying this for months now. In order for us to go from one type of currency to another type of currency, they both have to plummet because you have to do a transition of value to the other, right? So what do? They create crypto as an alternative, then they create the fear and they tell you what's wrong with it, then they create the problem, then they come in and they tell you they're going to fix the problem, but they have to crash it first, right? And then they tell you the dollar is worthless and it's not worth anything. And then if they take us off the petrodollar, what do? We go right into the value of crypto.
You see, guys, that right there was very interesting. That is a theory that I've personally always had and I've talked about on this channel for a long time. Them crashing the stock market, bringing value into the crypto market, as crypto offers solutions to the old financial problems the old system had. What thrives during times of massive recessions? Solutions to problems. But this is the thing. For a long time, the stock market and the crypto market were heavily correlated together. In 2017, I came up with a theory that I believed crypto and stocks should be inversely proportional. Crypto offers a solution to a financial crisis. Crypto was actually birthed out of the last financial crisis in 2008. But for a long time, crypto had followed stocks. However, recently, as the DXY crashed and as the stock market rose, the crypto market stayed suppressed and crashed, and that was a moment where everything changed and the potential correlation between the stock market and the crypto market has ended. I don't know if crypto is going to go lower like predicted by many people. And that's irrelevant because it doesn't matter. What matters is that the global elites will send us into a world of massive pain in order to bring this new system online. You better believe that. But they'll also secure their wealth. And this is the final signal to me for when the stock market will explode. Elizabeth Warren has discussed how members of Congress and their spouses shouldn't be allowed to own or trade individual stocks. And she says she has a bipartisan bill. Congress should give the American people the confidence that members are making decisions in the public interest. But the reality is, what this bill will be used for is as an exit strategy by members of Congress to get out at the highest point they possibly can. Once Congress is out of the stock market, everything will bleed out. That is a signal that you cannot ignore. Now, what I will say is, until then, we're beginning to see the initial steps of them trialing the new system we're going to be living in. We're going to be in a time where everyone's broke, desperate, poor, begging, hungry. Remember, we were locked down for 2 years and we have not felt the true market effects of that. Inflation is soaring, but we haven't seen stock markets crash like they should. Once that happens, it's pandemonium. But in order to settle the public, they need a solution to the problem they created. That will be central bank digital currencies through the form of universal basic income being deposited into people's individual accounts. Universal basic income is going to be the carrot on the stick they throw in front of you for you to sacrifice your rights and your privacy and accept central bank digital currencies. People will not accept CBDCs on their own. But people will accept CBDCs if it's free money that they're getting during a time of desperation. You better believe it. And in the UK, they're already beginning the process of universal basic income. It starts gradually, then it happens all at once.
Today, we've announced that this spring, millions of those on the lowest incomes will get £301 directly into their bank accounts. This is the first of several payments direct from the government to the most vulnerable people's pockets in 2023 and early 2024. In addition, there will be 2 more payments for low-income families of around £300, meaning they will receive up to £900. On top of this, for many pensioners, there is an extra £300. And for millions of disabled people, an additional £150 payment. This all means some households could receive as much as £1,350. No one will need to apply for any of these payments as they are paid automatically. This is all part of a £26 billion package for 2023 and beyond to help every household in the UK with the rising cost of living. They build on similar payments sent to millions of families last year as we continue to shield those in need from global pressures fueling rising prices.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you hear that message coated in a lot of fluff, it is the initial steps that they're going to take in order to get you to sacrifice your freedom for a paycheck. It sounds really good, but I'm telling you how it ends. Here, current head of the IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, states 2023 will be a difficult year for the world. The silver lining is we can use it to transform economies and accelerate change that's good for our climate, good for growth. And they at the IMF state it's their responsibility to be a force for good. The IMF is one of the most predatory organizations on the planet. During this health crisis, they stated this as an opportunity. They think opportunistically and are trying to take advantage of people suffering. They don't care about you or the people. And I'm just warning you now that the IMF, World Bank, BIS are signaling that this system is almost ready to come online. We're not out of the woods yet of this massive recession they tried to redefine as if it's not a recession. We're only just beginning, and we're going to feel the full force of what happened over the past couple years, potentially this year, potentially in the stock market. The stock market will have pain, but I believe with regulatory clarity in crypto, and with this XRP case coming to an end, I believe the perfect XRP storm will await. Brad Garlinghouse, the Ripple CEO, is cautiously optimistic in clarity this year. Well, I'm extremely optimistic. Our digital asset that missed the last bull run will be the front runner for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. But before I let you go for the day, I'm going to play you a powerful interview about the discussion of Sam Bankman-Fried and who posted that bail, whose names were redacted during this case. Gradual information will be posted daily on my channel about this case because it's extremely important as far as the regulatory landscape of where crypto is going to go. Please take a listen. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
What would it require you to be willing to risk that kind of money? Okay, family relationship. Okay. I mean, I could see that family relationship, but it'd have to be a close relative.
And apparently,
So his parents don't have that kind of money.
Right.
Is it an uncle? Who is close to him in his family that has $250 million to risk? I say nobody. Okay, so you put aside that it wasn't a relative, a close relative.
so it has to be someone that maybe had a business relationship with him or
Well, would you risk $250 million to bail out somebody you did business with that you now know is a crook?
I wouldn't risk $250 in that case.
So, where I'm going with this is,
who is it? Yes,
it's somebody who's got skin in the game. It's somebody that wants to make sure Sam Bankman-Fried never talks about what he did.
And they're willing to put up $250 million to secure that.
Because they have assurance from others. Don't worry, he's not going to talk. So I'm getting back to Sam Bankman-Friedman. Somebody with a lot of money, or 2 or 3 people with a lot of money, have a vested interest in this case.
Right. Now,
because isn't this not, out of the goodness of their heart, oh yeah, I saw that young man, I feel sorry for him, I'm going to risk $250 million on that little creep. No, that didn't happen.
Now, these guarantors, Rick, are being imposed by a judge. It says, in addition to Bankman-Fried and his parents, the judge asked that the bond be signed by 2 other people of considerable means, one of whom can't be a relative. Now, the 2 people haven't signed on yet, but intend to do so by the January 5th deadline, his lawyer said in the letter.
So he was released without the guarantee.
Yeah, which I thought was odd in itself there.
That is odd.
So they have until the 5th and to sign on. And part of it, too, it might very well be that they won't sign on unless their names are...
Precisely.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.